Hi, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the SCU Show. I'm your host, SCU. This is episode number 61. I've returned after a little hiatus, so there'll be another hiatus after this, unfortunately, because I'm still figuring things out in life, getting things situated, and I'm very busy now. I'm proud to announce that the Jersey Bearcats to give me the thumbs up to do play-by-play for them for their 2021 American League season. So I'm very excited for that. Been doing that every weekend in May and through June. Very exciting stuff. Cannot wait. So let's talk about it. The NFL draft at the time of recording this podcast was last night, round one, and I'm here to react to it. I'm not going to waste your time. Trevor Lawrence went number 1, Zach Wilson number 2. Everybody knew what was happening. Then we go to number 3. Everyone thinks, because the stories were out, that Mac Jones was going to be the quarterback for the 49ers. And it turns out that they picked Trey Lance out of North Dakota State. And I'm not really a big fan of a pick because I don't see Trey Lance ever getting the chance in San Francisco now that the 49ers have said they're keeping Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy's their guy. I wish that Trey Lance had gone elsewhere, where he would have had a chance to start anyway. Like Justin Fields, we'll get to him in a moment. He's going to Chicago. He's going to get a chance to start over Andy Dalton. Dalton has said that the Bears have said he is their guy. We'll talk about that in a moment. I don't think, even if, let's just say hypothetically, because obviously nothing is true right now, nothing's official. If Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded elsewhere, I still don't know if Trey Lance is going to do well in San Francisco. I'm still not sure. It's still a big question mark. So really, I would hope that San Francisco would take Mac Jones. At least Mac Jones, we know he's not that much of an NFL quarterback. But as far as Trey Lance is concerned, we don't know. And even if he does start in San Francisco, I still don't know how he's going to fare out in San Francisco. So I wasn't that big a fan of that pick. My favorite pick of last night was Justin Fields going to the Bears. And we just talked about this 2 seconds ago. I think he's going to do absolutely great. Let's scratch all that. I see Justin Fields starting very early in Chicago. Andy Dalton's going to struggle, but the schedule will come out in a couple weeks from now. If Andy Dalton struggles the first 3 or 4 games, if you're Matt Nagy, you have to throw Justin Fields in, right? You have to give this guy a chance. Show him what he can do. Let him prove to you that he is your next set franchise quarterback. Because obviously it's not Andy Dalton. It wasn't Trubisky. The Bears have swallowed that L. It's not Nick Foles, unfortunately. It could be Fields. And I really think that Justin Fields could be the starting quarterback for the Chicago Bears very early this season. I'm willing to put money on this. That Justin Fields is going to start very early in the NFL next year after Andy Dalton struggles. Other picks we got here, let's see. By the way, I'm not wearing my glasses because the lighting, the glare of the lighting, everything just screws it up. Dallas, the number 10, obviously I'm not a Cowboys fan anymore, but I do have to talk about the Cowboys because they made a really great pick. I love the pick of Micah Parsons. Sean Lee just retired. Kyle or Leighton Vander Esch, whoever his name is. He's a big question mark to me now. He was really good coming out of Boise State. He did have a great rookie season, had a great first couple of years. Now I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what we're seeing here. So Micah Parsons, I'm really a huge fan of that pick. Second best pick of the night. Obviously, the first one was Justin Fields going to the Bears. I like that pick the most. Second would be the Cowboys taking Micah Parsons. I also love 2 running backs that went in the draft last night, first round. Travis Etienne from Clemson. He joins Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. It's a great, obviously, dynamic duo. They're going to do. I mean, the Jaguars are building around Trevor Lawrence now. That picking his running back Etienne, that proves that the Jaguars are building around Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer. That Urban Meyer wants to build around Trevor Lawrence. And I'm not saying the Jaguars are going to be great because this will have a hell of a lot of things to fix up. But the Jaguars in a couple of years, if this whole Trevor Lawrence Urban Meyer thing works out with Travis Etienne, the Jaguars are going to be such a much better team. They might be back in the AFC Championship game in a couple of years from now. It'd be very exciting to watch. Very exciting. The other one was Najee Harris. I said a few years ago, first rounder. Booyah. 24th overall pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris. We have seen the Steelers have some drama with running backs in the past. And I'm here to tell you, Pittsburgh, don't screw this one up. Because if you screw up Najee Harris like you did with Le'Veon Bell, it's going to really blow up in your face. Because Najee Harris, he's going to be a Hall of Fame running back in the NFL. Putting it out there. Been saying it for years. Najee Harris is going to be a Hall of Fame NFL running back. whether he ends his career in Pittsburgh or not. Najee Harris is going to do great things, and I really hope the Steelers take advantage of that because they absolutely need to. All right, what else we got here? The last one I could think of, and again, it was a cool night. The NFL draft was nice and all. It was great. But after the first 15 picks, I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is. I understand the Raiders made a questionable play or whatever, taking an O-lineman that everyone was like, huh? Why is he a first-round talent? I don't know. After the first 15 picks, I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Except Caleb Farley for the Titans. I knew who that was. But anyway, 15th, Patriots, it's like it landed right in their lap. Mac Jones goes to New England, and now he's going to battle Cam Newton for the starting quarterback. Now, Bill Belichick has said that Cam is their quarterback. We don't know anything. Come on, Bill Belichick. Do you think Bill's going to go into training camp, not see Cam struggle, and be like, all right, maybe Mac Jones could be our guy for the season? Bill doesn't know that. Nobody does know that until we get to training camp this summer. So the fact that Bill Belichick is saying that Cam's their quarterback, I don't believe that at all. I think Mac Jones is going to go into camp with obviously he's kind of a chip on his shoulder. He comes in with the highest completion percentage in college football history. And if that's the Mac Jones we're getting with the New England Patriots, I can't wait to see him. However, on the flip side, it could have been if he had the top two receivers in Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle to throw to that gave him the highest completion percentage in college football history. Who knows, right? Who knows? It's a wait-and-see thing, but I can't wait. I'm going to be watching this very closely. I'm going to be watching to see if Mac Jones is really an accurate passer as we've seen at Alabama, or if it was the weapons around him that made him the quarterback that he was. It's going to be interesting to see how that plays out come training camp and come the start of the NFL season. Oh, and one more thing. The Lions getting Penei Sewell, I don't know, again, another questionable pick. I do like it, but they needed a receiver, I think. I think they obviously needed a receiver more than they needed an O-lineman. It's great that Jared Goff's getting his protection, but who's he going to throw to? They had nowhere to throw to. Same with Miami. Same with Cincinnati. They got receivers when they needed O-linemen. Especially Cincinnati. I mean, you reunited Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase. But now Joe Burrow's going to be on his you-know-what all the time. Joe Burrow's going to be knocked down all the time. Jamar Chase is going to be helping his quarterback up more than catching his passes. And it's just a sad story for the Bengals. It kind of really is. So that's that. NFL Draft Round 1. As we record this video, Round 2 is currently ongoing, but I don't remember if we watched the first round. Am I right? I know I don't. I mean, I'll listen tomorrow. 4, 5, 6, 7. From noon to 8 o'clock at night. It's football, right? That's what we all are here for. We love football. But after the first round, even after the first 50 picks, I was just like, all right, I'm done here. I'm going to head out. All right, so switching topics now. Sticking with the NFC West, we talk about the 49ers. We look back at the NFC West from last year. San Francisco went from the Super Bowl to super dull, I guess you would say. Arizona, all they had to do was win in Week 16, beat the 49ers. They would have all but clinched the playoff spot. They lost to the 49ers at home to a backup quarterback, and then they wound up losing their final game and missed the playoffs, ultimately missed the playoffs. The Seahawks, they're supposed to be this great talented team. Russell Wilson, DK Metcalf, great defense. They lost to Goff in the wild card round at home. And then the Rams, they have a talented team, but they won with John Wofford at one point. They beat the Cardinals with John Wofford, a backup quarterback from the Alliance. So really, now you go look at this year. I'm not sure who's going to win the NFC West. We look at the other divisions in the NFL. AFC West wrapped up already. We already know Kansas City's winning it. It's Mahomes, it's Derek Carr, it's Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock, and then Justin Herbert. Well, he'll be in second place. But you have Derek Carr, and you also have Drew Lock or Teddy Bridgewater in Denver. NFC North, you already know, Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers and everybody else. It's the Lions. By the way, they're going 0-17, the Lions are. I said 0-16 on my last show. I'm at 0-17. We got the schedule changed. So it's the Vikings. They're good, but they're not going to beat the Packers. We're not going to beat them off with the division. It's the Lions, who were the Lions, and the Bears, who will start Andy Dalton at quarterback for who knows how long. Hopefully, just, at least 4 games, and then they put in Justin Fields, and then we go from there. And then you have other divisions like the NFC East. You could have 2 winners. The AFC North could have 2 or 3 winners. So all these divisions, you kind of know what's going on, or you have an idea of what's going on. NFC West, I have absolutely no idea what is going on. I have no idea what to expect from any of those teams in that division come the 2021 season. It's just going to be a wait-and-see situation when it comes to the Seahawks, 49ers, Rams, and Cardinals. Now, of course, Arizona has stocked up the roster, and they got J.J. Watt, and bringing everybody back from last year, and they just drafted a guy last night who is a really big talent. I was listening to the ESPN radio telecast, I guess, and they were all shocked when the Arizona Cardinals made their pick. I don't remember who it was, but it was a big shock to everybody in the ESPN studios, and I was like, oh, like it was huge. It was crazy. So obviously Arizona got something there. The Rams obviously upgraded the quarterback. It's Matt Stafford from Jared Goff. They're going to be better. Seattle's going to be better. And San Francisco, I don't know. We'll see what happens to San Francisco. But as of right now, any of those teams really could win the division. It's going to be exciting to watch. Can't wait. It's going to be fun. I'm not going to talk about the Aaron Rodgers stuff. I'm not going to talk about it because it's nonsense. And right at this point, Aaron Rodgers is being I guess I'll just call him a crybaby. He's talking about retiring. If the Packers don't give him what he wants, they're going to work it out. Aaron Rodgers will get over himself, or he'll retire and go host Jeopardy, perhaps, potentially. We'll see. And I'll leave it at that. But I think Aaron Rodgers returns next year, Packers win the North, and we move on with our lives. Just as that. All right, let's switch a little to the NBA now. Oh, boy, here we go again. Here we go. Everybody's like, oh, my goodness, the Brooklyn Nets are not going to the finals. You see, James Harden is hurt, and Kevin Durant's been missed the season. Oh, boy. Because there's anybody in the Eastern Division, Eastern Conference, that's going to beat the Nets in the postseason. Philadelphia, they got swept last year by Boston. I believe they got swept by Boston 2 years in a row. Might be mistaken. I mean, Philadelphia is not good in the postseason. Milwaukee, I said it last year when they went to the bubble. Milwaukee is not a great. They're not a finals team, caliber team. I mean, they're not. And those are the top. The Nets are 1. You have the Sixers are 2, who got swept last year in the postseason, and the Bucks are 3. And they can't get out of their own way sometimes, especially in the postseason. Then you look at the 4, the Knicks, the 5, the Hawks. I mean, give me a break, people. You think that any of those teams are going to beat the Nets? There's no chance in hell. You look at the bottom of the Eastern Conference right now, the Wizards, who have the triple-double machine, Russell Westbrook, but can't win. Bradley Beal had scored 40 consecutive points. Or 40 points in like 20 million consecutive games. They still could win. Indiana's not that good. The East is absolutely, it belongs to the Brooklyn Nets. The Eastern Conference belongs to the Brooklyn Nets. There is going to be absolutely nobody that is going to beat them. I mean, it's inevitable at this point. I am more confident that the Brooklyn Nets are going to the NBA Finals than I am that the Lakers are going to the NBA Finals. Because in the West is stacked. The Lakers could lose to the Clippers, the Suns. Any of those top teams in the West could beat the Lakers. There's absolutely nobody who is beating the Brooklyn Nets in the Eastern Conference. Absolutely nobody. And that's that. Brooklyn Nets are going to be the Eastern Conference champions, and they will probably play the Lakers in the NBA Finals. Done deal. It's a done deal. Book it. Give me a break. The Knicks, the Hawks. You gotta be kidding me, people. Make me laugh. I kid you not. It's hysterical. Alright, final topic for the show. Oh, I told you last show we were going to talk about this, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about it. The Spring League. You gotta love it, right? I mean, I don't remember when exactly it started. It was like 2014-ish, around there. Like, they had started with two, like, it was like a, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like a league or anything. They had two teams, both that, like, wore orange or whatever they wore. And then it just grew from there. Like, now, just this past fall, they played games in a bubble at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio. They had, like, 4 teams or something, 6 teams. And it was really cool. I mean, they got a broadcast deal with Fox. It was great. Everything's great. Now, they're playing another season. By the time the podcast comes out, it'll be a Saturday. They start on next Friday, next Thursday, May 6th. Next Thursday, May 6th. I believe that's when they start their next season. And they just added 2 new teams. So now they have 8 teams. They're playing a Lucas Oil... The Northern Division is playing a Lucas Oil Stadium, an NFL stadium. How cool is that? And then you got the quarterbacks here. Look at these. Listen to these quarterback names. And who they are. Luz Perez. You remember Luz Perez from the Alliance? He played with Birmingham Iron. Yeah, that was pretty. He was a pretty talented guy. I really liked him. Let's see. Michigan State's all-time leader in scrimmage yards, Brian, I'm going to butcher this last name, Lewerke, Lewerke. He's the starting quarterback in this league. Syracuse's all-time passer in Eric Dungy. He's the starting quarterback in this league. You remember Nick Fitzgerald from Mississippi State? Another talented quarterback. I've loved watching him at Mississippi State. And, come on, you don't remember Brian Mallett from Arkansas? The 3rd-round pick for the Patriots 10 years ago? And I know I sound stupid typing up these guys that everyone's like, who's this guy? Who's this guy? Do your research, people. These are talented quarterbacks playing in this league. And again, Lucas Oil Stadium, the Southern Division is playing at Rice Stadium, so that's cool too. But the Northern Division is playing it at an NFL stadium, home of the Combine. That just screams so awesome to me. I love that for the league. And again, like I said, this league has come a long way. They've come a long way from having 2 teams wearing orange, playing scrimmages, I guess it would be called. I think a couple years ago they played a Japanese team down at the Jerry's World. Not an AT&T Stadium. They played like elsewhere, like at the Star Ford Center or something. It's pretty cool stuff. So again, the Spring League, May 6th, FS1 and Fox. I don't know, FS1 and Fox, I guess. They have 8 teams, 4 in Indianapolis, 4 in Houston. And it's just, come on, it's just so cool. You're not going to want to miss this. So good luck to the Spring League this season. I'm excited to see how this pans out. And with that, we are done. Congratulations to all 200, I believe there's 259 guys being selected in this year's NFL draft. So by the time this podcast comes out, the draft will be on day 3. Congratulations to those guys who get selected. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get to catch all Jersey Bearcats broadcasts coming to you this May and June. By the way, begin May 8th. The Jersey Bearcats host the Carolina Cowboys in their first American Radio League game. So catch us there. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been episode number 61 of the SCU Show.